Hello and welcome back to another video today here again on Forza Horizon 5 to take a look at the first of the interesting cars, vaguely, from the new Hot Wheels expansion, which is this Dodge Deora 2. Ignoring the Baja Bone Shaker because it's another bone shaker, because that's kind of the first car you unlock, this being the second. So let's take a bit of a look at this and see what we can do with it. But before I tell you anything more about this car, well, truck, we just need to take the doors of this thing in for a moment. So that's how you get in the front. There's fire extinguishers, which is slightly worrying. They're expecting you to have a fiery crash. And this is that is the most useless pickup bed I have ever seen. And of course, the mandatory surfboards, and your engine is, well, there. To unlock this Deora 2, you have to do the Here We Pro qualifier for the A-Class events. So somehow the Deora 2 is conveniently exactly A-Class 800 with 760 horsepower and 848 Nm of torque from a more than 5-litre engine, and it weighs a massive 2,000 kilos, which, given the engine and packed as a truck, kind of makes sense. Anyway, being the Deora 2, there is obviously a Deora 1, which is the sequel to. The original one was a highly modified Dodge A100 pickup, which was later used as a basis for one of the original Hot Wheels way back in 1968. They then followed in 2000 with this, Deora 2, of which a full-size version was then later made, and now here it is in Horizon. This car apparently was one of the most requested Hot Wheels to be added to the game ever since the Horizon 3 expansion first launched way back in, I think, 2017. Now, I did drive this before on stream when we were going through the campaign mode of this new Hot Wheels expansion, but I didn't really give my thoughts on it too much. It drives nicely, especially given the amount of power going through the rear wheels, and it doesn't feel as heavy as the 2,000 kilos would suggest, although maybe that is down to the fact half the tracks I've driven it on have had boost pads and water flumes, so I've not really got a true picture of what a hand is like. But who cares, it's a Hot Wheels, it's supposed to be driven on the Hot Wheels map. For some reason it has 8 gears, which takes you onto an irrelevant top speed, because again we're on the Hot Wheels track, using boost pads and water flumes, so we're always going to be doing more than its actual top speed. And yes, I could test it on the mainland, but it's a Hot Wheels, it belongs here, and this is where I'm going to drive it. Now, I do actually particularly like these, not because I like the car, it's very 2000s modified car scene, but I did actually used to have one of these, so I'm going to head off to the auto show and see if I can find the livery that used to be online. So I couldn't actually find the livery for my one of these, so I'm going to put a picture of it up on screen here if I remember to. But yeah, it seems nobody else had that one, or nobody that makes liveries did, so maybe one day I will try and recreate that, but it's probably quite difficult to do. So instead what I'm going to do is paint it one of the Spectra Flame colours, which we can either go with the manufacturer colours, in which case we keep that Hot Wheels decal on the side, and we have all of these options, or I can cycle across to here and go for one without the livery, which is probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the purple as a base, and then one day I might come back and make that livery that I just showed you. But anyway, let's quickly flick through the colours, because it's the first time I've looked. We've got purple, pink, a sort of bronzy red, an orangey thing, a gold. I've actually seen these in this colour before. What can only be described as brown, some nice green colours, and some very nice looking blues. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is go for the plain purple and probably equip it with the compulsory Hot Wheels tyres. So there are several engine swaps available. There's a V8 diesel if you're so inclined, a V10, a V8 something or other, and a V12. There's going to be a usual all-wheel drive swap in here, and we have some twin turbos in here. Now I am going to equip it with Hot Wheels tyres, because I've missed these What are they, semi-slicks? So interestingly, we've now got 3 types of semi-slick. Anyway, let's go with that. I will extend these out as well, but I don't think we're going to have anything too extreme. There's not even an aero option in here, so I mean, I might as well, in that case, just make this thing a bit mad. I won't engine swap it. Oh, it's not even on road. Look how low that is. Obviously, that's even more extreme. But anyway. Oh, weight reduction. That is definitely necessary. Let's see, can we... This is going to be ridiculously fast and probably a death trap if I upgrade all of these. 1,179 horsepower, and that's with the standard engine, nearly at the top of S1. Let's see if it is completely impossible to drive or not. So, surprisingly, it doesn't feel all that terrible, although that might be because I'm on a Hot Wheels map where ridiculously fast, powerful cars are quite normal and work quite well. I think it's going to be pretty undrivable in the mainland or in a racing situation. But here on the Hot Wheels expansion, it's good fun, which is all this is about, really. It's not about serious racing. But yeah, I will also be taking a look at some of the more normal cars, let's say. None of them are that normal, but some of the real ones at least. And those I probably will test out over in the mainland, as that kind of suits them better. But I think any of the Hot Wheels I will just test out here, because, well, I'm not really going to drive them in the mainland, I don't think. This is the place they fit in, and it's the place they're the most fun. So yeah, although the Baja Bone Shaker I don't think is that interesting, I will be taking a look at most of the other cars in this expansion, probably. I might even come back to that one once we've taken a look at some more interesting ones, as that is the car you start with after all. But yeah, there's quite a lot of cars I'm very much looking forward to trying out. Anyway, I seem to conveniently be back at Horizon Nexus, so I think I'm going to go in and see if any of the engine swaps do get me any more power, as we're just going completely mad with this car today. So this 8.9 litre V8 gave me 300 more horsepower than the fully upgraded standard engine. So I've put that in, given it full-on slicks, and upgraded a few other bits, and it now has 1,500 horsepower. So let's see if a 931 PI, 1,500 horsepower car is even less drivable. So the first thing I've noticed is the gear ratios are now horrible. Well, for the Hot Wheels expansion, they don't allow you a high enough top speed, so that might need dealing with. Or maybe not quite like that, more like that. Hang on, I've got to try it on the long straight to figure out if that's any better. I think it is, but yeah, that is pretty mad. 1,500 horsepower in a pickup truck with surfboards on, basically. No, it still only does 240. Maybe it needs a different gearbox. So I've put an 8-speed back in it now, so let's see if that helps. It's definitely better. And now it only just tops out at 280, so it's not bad. What's a ridiculous, ridiculous car? So I did just quickly check if any of the other engines give it more power, but none of them do. So instead I'm going to get rid of those upgrades and kind of make it nice to drive. So I'm going to give it the red Hot Wheels tyres because they're compulsory, and probably leave it at that pretty much. Maybe I should make it to the top of S1 so it's actually useful. That's actually going to prove rather difficult without making it undrivable with power. So I'm going to see if maybe I can get away with putting those wheels on and putting something else on to bring it back down to 800. I can do it by fitting it with a V10. Okay, so I've managed to make it quite a bit lighter by putting a V10 in and drop the horsepower a bit, so it might actually be more drivable. Why is that saying 799? There we go. I think probably all I've achieved is made it less fun for the Hot Wheels map and probably less usable. So it's now going to handle better but not be quite as fast as it was. Anyway, I definitely wanted the red tyre stripe, so it was worth it, whatever it's done to this thing. It might have made it more drivable, actually. I think it has, but yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be fast enough to
arrived at your destination.
Good at Hot Wheels or fun at Hot Wheels now, but I think it was worth it for the visuals. They're the important thing at the end of the day, aren't they, the Hot Wheels? Well, not that it's necessarily a good-looking vehicle, but it's a cool and interesting looking vehicle, I'll give it that. I actually prefer this in a plain purple to the one I used to have. So, as we have a new excellent drone mode with much height and many possibilities, I'm going to use this for the outro, because of course I am. So yeah, there we go. That is going to do it for a first look at the Deora 2 here on Forza Horizon 5, the first of the cars from the Hot Wheels expansion that I've taken a look at. I would of course like to take a look at all of the others, not necessarily in the order they get unlocked. As I've said, I might go back to the Bone Shaker, Baja Bone Shaker later, but do let me know if there's any you think I should be, or that you'd like me to take a look at first. Which Hot Wheels should I take a look at next, and which of the real cars should I first take a look at? Do let me know what you think and which ones you'd like to see, and let me know if you've enjoyed this kind of slightly more fun style of review where I'm not just lapping things around the festival, kind of going back to just messing about with random upgrades and customization. Let me know what you think and let me know which cars you would like to see. But for now, for a first look at the first of the cars from the expansion, the Deora 2, that is going to be all. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.